Different road, different direction. It's a nice day. It reminds me of the air quality, the way it feels and smells reminds me of San Francisco. Like, it's got that California feel. Sunny day, but cool, not cold. It's a nice day for riding around. I had a message from a friend who was asking me about something I said in a video. And yeah, it's hard to talk about oneself when you're my age. When you're young, you're trying to be good for something relevant. You're trying to find opportunities, achieve success, romance. Maybe you want to build a family, maybe you don't. And we come up with heroic narratives to, make people interested. And traveling around, I've heard a lot of stories. But after a while, I kind of stopped talking about myself. So I just talk about things I do or things going on in the world, ideas. And that was all very interesting for me. But it's just that, people don't know me, so I might just think I'm talking about something interesting and being charming and whatnot, trying to be nice, and find out that I'm really not being heard or understood, or maybe insulting someone or making someone feel uncomfortable. So you try to be mindful of one's communication style and what you're trying to do when you're sincerely hoping to communicate with someone, and not just trying to get something or sell something or seduce. If your purpose is just earnest communication. And I love to talk to people, so when I'm face to face with people, I'm really happy and excited if they want to talk about things in an open, friendly manner. Not get in a fight or a debate, but just like try to understand one another and learn something from each other and so on. I've said that many times. I don't know who it was. It was something like Camus, maybe. I can't remember. But he said something like he had the most amazing ability to forget, that only children have geniuses and the insane. Children are more likely to live in the moment, as you know. They don't have as much of a history. They don't have as much of a future to worry about. They just want to feel good. And animals are like that. I still think one of my cats has a history, a historical sense, a sense of what tomorrow brings. He just seems to be, the theory of mind is strong with that one. But I don't know if that's true. But we forget, we have selective memory, we repress memories, we suppress memories. We may want to delete memories sometimes. This one's not going to go through, which is too bad because I can see a place I want to go. But I don't want to really get lost on dirt roads right now. Oh, hello. Some nice sheep, lambs. Yeah, I don't think they're worried too much about yesterday or tomorrow, those sheep. They're sheep. But over time, you know, we have a history. Like, it seems to me, it's probably not true, but I tend to have 10-year periods. And it just seems to work out like that. It's weird. You know, in a country or in a particular part of the world or doing certain things. So I'm a wanderer and a free spirit in the Nietzschean sense, maybe. I don't know if I can say it's ultra Nietzschean. But people have said that I was a free spirit, sunny boy. And I definitely am a wanderer. And I understand the difference between my proclivities, my drives, especially when I was in my 20s. I look back and I realized my drives were driving me. No matter how much I thought I knew what I was doing, I didn't really know shit. And I was just being driven by my drives, my Nietzschean drives. And we, you know, we have to be epistemically humble to be realistic about how things go in the world. Now this road looks promising, so I'm gonna take it. So we forget how things were exactly. We overwrite, you know, the tabula rasa, shake up the etch-a-sketch, and the picture changes, the memories change and all that stuff. But at some point I just stopped talking about moi, me and mine, includes family, and just, you know, wanted to speak with people about stuff in the world, which I'm still doing now, making these videos. And things do seem absurd to me. They seemed absurd to me when I was young, but they're, you know, they're just getting more absurd to me. Because, you know, I'm going to be 65 in the summer, and I will have been around for a while, and I have been around for a while, and seen the cycles. Wide angle of this puppy. What do you think? See, it's very easy to make me happy. That's crazy. But you know, you see the same, you have the same dime, different day kind of thing. And whoa, this is nice. Gosh, Ica, yeah, this is perfect. So, you know that if I could admit that a lot of my shtick was performative, that it was a put on, a show, an act, there's a difference between being an actor, that context, and putting on an act because you want something. Or you're driven to want something, or you think you want something. And being a performer because you have to perform to do well in your career. So some people think I'm nuts when I post something with Tucker Carlson, but it's like reading the National Enquirer magazine. I don't take it seriously. I know he's just performing. He's reading a script. He's pretending to be outraged. And he's probably one of the happiest men alive because he's rich. He's got plenty of friends. He's had an interesting life. He's an entertainer. Some entertainers who don't have a psychological pathology live really great lives. And so, yeah, I guess a lot of people don't understand that cable news is a form of entertainment and it's not there to educate and enlighten you. I'm not saying that MSM, mainstream media, is all bad. But wow, this is good. MSM. I think I'll go down towards Nazare. Trying to think. How do I want to go down? This is a slightly different angle on it. But I did want to go down this one street. I also need coffee. So some people just don't understand if they're sincerely interested in learning something. And I'm not being scientistic or something, you know, only the facts. I can't understand why people have a problem with rationalism or science or anything, because it's not one thing. It's a combination of all our faculties and tools and capabilities that give us the opportunity to understand how the world works. But I'll go into that in detail in the next few videos, because I'm dissecting this one. I want to get it off my chest once and for all, because I've been thinking about it for too long. All these various configurations of right. The neoliberal, neoconservative new right of the United States, and the continental new right, the French new right, Alexander Dugin. Anyway, I digress. So it's not so simple to explain to people why I feel solitary and self-sufficient in a sense of being sovereign and having a certain amount of agency and being comfortable with my own company and not too needy of my relationships and so on and so forth. You know, have a family, have extended family, have friends, and still feel a kind of solitariness in a way. But you know, we're just people, so you talk about individuals and embedded individuals and collectives. You know, these are all part of the thing. We are members of a community, and we are individuals. But I can't go the whole Ayn Rand libertarian route. Any of these extreme things where you want to pin it down and say, this is it. This is the way everyone should live, and if they did, everything would be fine. The end of history. I don't think the world works like that. And there will come a time when there will be an end of history, and that'll be when when our species is gone from this universe. The end of my history will happen when I'm dead. I don't think I have a legacy, even though you can think of your child as a legacy, but that's not how they think of things necessarily. I'm going to take over the ranch, Dad. Come back and fight for the ranch, son. I'm a wanderer, I'm a free spirit in the Nietzschean sense. Maybe, maybe not. Wow, it's so nice. Look, this kind of light, you know. So over there's Nazare, that big hill over there, if you can kind of see it. I'm gonna see how long I can go before I have to turn back. I was riding quite a bit before I turned on the camera. Yeah, so I'm too old to live in Porto or Lisboa. It's nice to have the noise and the excitement when I want it, and to be like this. Just some dude on a bicycle talking to an action cam. How stupid is that? Whoa, that's a pretty cool little hotel. There's a hotel. You can stay here when you visit. Got lots of solar. Oh no, made in China. You better start a war. You know, it's funny, America doesn't want to compete in the solar business with China in a fair way because, you know, shareholders got to get rich. But they sure as hell buy a lot of stuff from China. So the idea that China isn't the world's manufacturing factory is crazy. It still is. Valdesenha. So when you get older, you're just wondering how long your body's going to hang with you. How long you're going to be able to do the things you like to do. And like I said before, if there's anything wrong with my delivery, my memory, my speech, it's all due to COVID. I blame everything on COVID. I have a stiff shoulder from my physio, COVID. Can't concentrate, got some brain fog, COVID. Had 3 shits this morning, definitely COVID. Convenient excuse. Until some new one comes along that's a little more topical. So I don't know. That's why I make those absurd, you know, sincere irony type of videos. Because it helps me get things off my chest, you know. It's like so silly, the idea that Russia's sending some stuff they capture on the battlefield to Iran. Yeah, so? America turned Iran into an enemy. For many complex reasons, have a lot having to do with Israel and so on, but that was what we did. We have to own that. So if we're going to push Russia and China together, which is stupid, which we did, and we're going to push this Eurasia thing together, which wasn't really a thing. Bom dia. So this is a totally new road going down here. Very interesting. Yeah, so, you know, the causal relationships are working in every direction. And these simple narratives that, you know, this one thing caused this one thing is so freaking stupid. It just doesn't reflect reality at all. But again, it's a lot easier to think of things in that way because you don't have to, you know, it's very simple narrative. The devil made me do it type of thing. Okay, full stop, we're done. And at this point, you know, that that conflict is a bloody mess, and it's going to be a bloody mess for a long time, I think. And we'll be lucky to get out of it without a nuclear war, even though people's, on one hand, Putin's too crazy and evil, and Dugin's in his ear, and he's been possessed by the devil. And on the other hand, he won't ever start a nuclear war. I mean, the contradiction there is so freaking childish. I don't think he gives a damn about Dugin. Although, the Eurasia idea or project is a thing for some people. But, do you have to wrestle with yourself to find out if it's your thing? Am I all in with the Eurasia thing? And if you're going to have 1 million trad communities that don't get in each other's way, do you really think so? You know how that works. There are cycles of pogroms and massacres and competition for resources. Here's one thing I want to say, and I should make a video about this one, and I really think this would be great. We get rid of all the modern weapons, go back to spears and bows and arrows and shields and helmets, like Roman or Greek. And we say to the people who want to be leaders, you got to be like the Roman Republic, and you got to go out there, lead the charge. You got more responsibility, you want to be a big shot, you got to risk your life. If you want Taleb's skin in the game, that's what I'm talking about. So then if you want to have a war, you get your teams together, and you would have to think about it carefully, because you might have a 10-to-1 advantage, and then the other guys are going to say, no, we're not going to fight. We'll figure out a way to deal with the big shot, the alpha nation, because we can't win. And then you can have your master-slave relationships and so on and so forth, which we have anyway. But I don't mean it in the sense of Montebellum South or that kind of thing. No, please don't misunderstand. It's more of a philosophic thing. Oh, Nietzsche again. So then you televise the damn thing. You got all the Russian guys and the Ukrainians, and it's a big battlefield that you set aside, and you prepare it all, and it has obstacles and rivers and stuff, and people get to study the maps for a while, make their plans, and then they can just march out there and start hacking away till one side wins. And televise it like the NFL. You can have bets. People can bet online. The whole fucking gladiatorial thing. And you settle your disputes that way. Or you could just try not to get in these disputes. Collaborate with one another across nations and regions, and compete fair and square, have some sense of international law. But people hate globalism, and people hate federal governments, federations, and European unions, and no freedom. And then you really, like in those videos I'm going to do about the right, I'm talking about, it's so boring, it's so first year of college, but the whole difference between freedom, license, and liberty, and those concepts across culture. So if you're talking China, you're not talking about the Constitution of the United States. And, parliamentary governments and so on. I mean, there's just different ways to deal with license, liberty, and freedom. And it's not all, and there's so many different right-wing things, and they don't all match up. So I don't know what the utility, utilitarianism. No, what's the purpose? How useful is it to label yourself like that? Unless you're on a team and you're making money, and there's a reason for you to want to fit in and do well in that with that team in that context, then I understand. want to be Tucker Carlson, go to Emerson College in Massachusetts and get your communications degree, audition, get in there, write some articles, some op-eds, publish some shit. You know, like reading a Fareed Zakaria book and because you want to understand geopolitics. I think not. There are better sources, both in print, in online magazines, and in books, to learn about geopolitics. You don't learn it from a newscaster. They may be exposed to a lot of things through their work, but, you know, they haven't done the work. And they have researchers and other people to help them piece together the thread of their ideas and put some more resolution into their books' ideas and structure. I don't know. You know, Fareed writes articles. Okay, great. But most of us get our information from these types of people, and therefore we can't say that we're very knowledgeable about anything. We're just parrots. We regurgitate, we squawk what they squawk. And then because we're emotional beings and storytelling beings who easily forget things and don't understand what memory really is or what one's history really is about. And of course, that's cultural. There's a cultural context there. So if you're Japanese, you have a different sense of your history. Yeah, so I don't know if I want to say anymore. It's such a beautiful day, as you can see. I guess you can consider yourself extremely fortunate if anyone takes a sincere interest in you and you feel simpatico towards them. Simpatico doesn't mean best friend or anything. But you feel a connection, you feel sympathy in the sense that you're open to them and understanding of them and so on. And they take a sincere interest, and you're like, wow, that's really nice. Somebody is interested. We're like that. We're people. And it's a gift. It's a blessing to have a friend, to be concerned for other people, and to have other people concerned with you. Most of us are just normal folks, and we have attachments to one another. We're not trying to be the governor of Florida Stan. You know, if you were inside these people's minds, you would find out they are all probably full of shit. And remember, audience capture works in many contexts, including politics. So there comes a time when you really are the puppet of your constituency, and your constituency is a puppet of a whole bunch of think tanks that are puppets of a bunch of corporations. So there's one puppeteer playing one puppet, and that puppet's playing another puppet. And you're literally performing for, you know, your audience, telling them what they think they want to hear, and they don't even know what they want to hear because their ideas aren't that well founded. You want to talk Leibniz and Spinoza and Kant and the rationalists, or you want to talk about the romantics, or you want to talk about idealism. Most people have no clue about these different ways of thinking about things, philosophies, and how it has anything to do with them. It just doesn't have anything to do with me, man. You know, you go to school, you read the rationalists, you have a nice teacher, You learn something and then you forget. Somehow it's still swimming around in there. So when somebody brings it up, you can say, oh yeah, I remember that guy in school. But a lot of us have never touched those books. So they're totally irrelevant. So when we turn on the TV, that's our source of information. That's what stimulates us. What stimulates our drives and gives our life some kind of meaning because we belong to a certain team, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the marina and show you guys the marina. Why not? He had the most amazing ability to forget that only children have, and geniuses, and the insane. Somebody look that up. Google it. That just popped right into my head for some reason. It's not important to me to be proud of any of my decades, my periods, my eras. And I'm not ashamed of them either. You know, I've just had my particular kind of free-spirited wandering life. It's not for everyone. And depending on what I'm saying and the context and with whom I'm talking, you know, it comes out differently because there are different facets to it. The holographic personal theories, the holographic personal history theory. It's, you know, it's three-dimensional. It's got depth. It's got a lot of, how does one say in English? Features. Features. Got a lot of features. Moving parts. Some conservative writer was talking about history and the idea that in the 19th century, or maybe it was the 18th century, or maybe way back from the rationalists period, that people were starting to think that they could, you know, find the real history, the historic Jesus, and somehow divorce the narrative and the various perspectives and cultures out of the historical narrative. Just take all that out and find the facts, the evidence, carbon date it, find some genes, you know. I have a funny story I wrote about. It's called Saving Sammy, and it's about Sammy Davis Jr. And somebody at an estate sale finds a little jar, and in it there's something weird that looks like a worm, and it turns out to be Sammy Davis Jr.'s foreskin, because he was Jewish. And so they get his DNA and they remake Sammy. It's called Saving Sammy. You know, so I'm going to find history by putting together all the facts. Well, you're not going to do that. There's so many things involved with it. And the actual perspective, the point of view of the teller, their project, what they're trying to accomplish, actually has a lot to do with history. And it's important that it does. So one thing you can do as a person who reads history is understand who's writing the history. Where's it coming from? Oh, it's Winston Churchill. He's writing it. Okay. Plutarch. I like, what's the Greek guy again? Anyway, uh, you know, it's pretty interesting when they're actually first-hand reports on something, and you can more or less kind of glean the worldview of the writer, understand where that's coming from, and then you have some fairly reliable information, so you can kind of construct in your imagination what what it was like in ancient Greece and what was going on, who the players were, and what the culture was like. I think that's so interesting. So you don't have to just pick up the history book and say, oh, it's Neil Ferguson. Oh, he's really good. This must be the exact truth. This must have been how it happened. You can take it with a bunch of salt, not just a grain. He has good undergrad researchers helping him, and he knows how to tell a story. Bom dia. So, it's okay, but it's not the thing, You don't have to take the whole dude just because he's famous. He's married to Ayaan Hirsi Ali. She's a big shot. Yeah, so let's see if I can get over here a little bit faster. Sorry, I'm just continuing to talk. I keep trying to wind it up by going to the historical narrative thing about memory, and then I'm off on a tangent that could last all day. It's really fun to have conversations, but if you really want to say something clearly, you should write it. You don't have to be the best writer, just write it down as well as you can. Formulate your ideas. Formulate them. It's been a while since I was at the Marina, so it's going to be interesting. So this is Nazare. I've taken you here before. I chose this region because where I live, people say it's in the middle of nowhere. No, it isn't. If you're in a city in the States or Perry or wherever, you'll note that they have Episcopalian churches all over the place. You can get in your car and drive through the suburbs. There's a church, 7-Eleven, gas station, strip mall, shopping mall, and it just repeats over and over and over again. Here it's just like that. Only they're little villages. So, and the difference here is that the villages are separated by orchards and vineyards and farms, rather than 2x4 studs hammered together with nails and sheetrock and little green grass. It's more pedestrian. And the cities are just a little bit more interesting, in my opinion. Somebody has a boat cat. Cats are amazing, man. Boat cats, they work. They'll never jump overboard. So that building looks like a prison, man. What the hell is that? Yeah, it's not the prettiest marina in the world, that's for sure. But usually normal marinas are not country club marinas. If you sail around a bit. Hola, bom dia. So, There's a lot of marinas that are just, they work operational. There's some nice boats. There's a nice, wow, that's kind of sweet. You could go to Madeira on that sucker. Whew. It would be fun to go fishing again. My friend's brother used to fix up a car like that. Oh, sorry. Stop recording. Stop recording. I'm gonna go back and take a pic of this Austin Mini Cooper. A friend when I was growing up was fixing one of these up. It was cool. That is an Austin Mini Cooper, isn't it? Yeah. Wow. Shoot, that's totally classic. Must be immortalized on film. Estação Náutica. Oops. My hand's cold. It's not reading my fingerprint. There you go. Wow, it's cherry. That's cherry. If ever there was a definitive cherry thing, that's fairly definitive. My friend's brother, well, he's my friend too. My friend's brother is my friend. My friend, I've just been in touch with the other one. So yeah, so this is, in Cascais. Well, anyway, yeah, you have all the villages have everything. They have a cafe, and I've said that before, and a church and whatnot. And I like old European cities better. They're just more pedestrian, more places to sit outdoors and watch people. But my village is equidistant to a lot of really nice destinations that I can cycle to or drive to. And it's in between Porto and Lisboa, so, if I want to go to big cities, I can get to Coimbra, Leiria, and stuff like that. Enjoy a more urban vibe. And there are some pretty fancy marinas in Portugal if you're the yacht type, and you wouldn't feel right not having a yacht. But you need a really nice place, with all the facilities. And you could go to Cascais. That's a pretty fancy place, Cascais. The marina there is beautiful. They've got some in Lisbon and south of Lisbon and in the Algarve and northern Portugal. Yeah, it was a maritime empire at one time. Yeah, so the Eurasian thing, it's all about, the Anglo-West has navies and control the seas, the trade. You have to understand how important it is to have a powerful navy if you're going to control the coding of capital and international trade. So Russia is envious of that. Take a look at my little beach. Yeah, so I'll go down there and then I'll go over there where that bicycle's going. Take a look at my little beach. Check out that swell, man. Whew. If that was breaking further out, it'd be nice. It's breaking a little too close to the shore to really have fun with it. Oh, that little poodle. My friend from Tennessee told me that poodles cause cancer. I don't believe him. So we'll go out to the end of this. And you can have a nice view of the lighthouse at Nazare. Ooh, yay! Exciting. Check it out. See what happens here. Bada bing, bada boom. Whoa! Whoa! Nice. See, it's these kind of things get me all excited. I feel like a kid. A kid, I tell you. Child. So, lots of nice marinas and stuff. And I was joking with my wife the other day. I was saying, it's such a bummer, you know, it's like we only get good winter really good weather from March until like the end of October. It's like, oh, shoot. Look at that. So there's the strand at Nazare. There's the upper part of North Nazare. There's the village. That's the famous lighthouse where over there you can see the swell break off of it's way out. I mean, I'm sure somebody's surfing today. There's no doubt about it. That's some really huge, I mean, not huge, but huge for most people, waves. And there's a canyon right there which allows that break to happen out away from the beach, and it just comes barreling in. It's freaking famous. It has been for 10 years. Ooh, so nice. So I don't know, you know, I put it on 1080p this time because it takes too long to upload the 4K to the computer that I have and get it into the editing software. So just put it on 1080p. Now I'm blah, 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 blah. Greta Thunberg would be really pissed at me for my blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, people who think they're gonna figure out the perfect ideology and educational system and land in this, you know, oh, it's not utopian, dude. It's just the way things should work because of human nature and everything. I don't think you're gonna find that ever. So we're gonna have to figure out how we can survive on this planet. But of course, if you don't care about future generations, then never mind. A lot of our histories are full of it. Have to understand why we spin it a certain way. What's the context of the conversation? Why are you framing it like this today? Well, it's because I was reading Schopenhauer, or I was doing my zazen. No, I don't do zazen. But whatever. I'd just seen a Dirty Harry movie, so the framing changed. See, that dates me, doesn't it? Oh, look at these little homes. Oh, that's cute. Wonder if they're private homes or if they're rental homes. Homes? Those rental homes? Wow, this is cool. Wonder where this comes out. I know there's that river down there, so it probably stops by that river. Down by the river. Well, I know that area. Wow, the waves are really crashing up on this shoreline here. It's pretty cool. Wow, this beach goes on and on. See, this is cool over here. Oh, it's sandy. Whew. It's hard to get through sand. That was fun. Yeah, so this, I want to ride up to Lisbon from the Algarve. It'll take me days. Get an extra battery. You know, there's a lot of roads like this. It's just mile after tens and tens of miles of gorgeous views and countryside. And people are really hospitable on those trips. There's a group of people taking a walk. Kind of fun. I guess this is the end of it down here. There's the river. So I saw that guy riding out here, that's why I came. Figured there must be something to see. Awesome. So here's that little river. I don't know if you can get back to the road on this thing. I'm willing to try. Although that guy did turn around, maybe he's on a boat. So he's going back home. I'm willing to try. I don't know what time it is. I start riding, sometimes I'm like 4 hours out before I go back. That's not good. Go watch my battery. You lose track of time. This probably goes through. There's that little river, Rio Pequeno. Yeah, so it's going to be a little bit rainy this spring. Every week some rain, but that's good for the farms. People can fill up their cisterns because when it's summer it gets dry. All right, here we go. Hello. What time is it?
11:30.
Yeah, I'm in Nazare, so I'll start back now.
You're in Nazare, you can wait.
Yeah, I'm on my way. Okay, thanks.
I'll start at 12.
All right, that's good.
Take your time.
All right, okay, see. So that's some lunch, so I'm not totally alone. All by myself, I want to be. So, yeah, time to head back. I'll keep the camera rolling because it's kind of nice. Terrain. And it's kind of fun to see how to come in this way because it's different. Yeah, so I like living in this region, but everywhere in Portugal is good. But we always joke as well. I don't want to sound bad, but it's some of the people that you read in the forums on Facebook, Reddit, whatever, who are planning to move to Portugal. Not my kind of people. I won't explain it because I don't want to be a jerk, but some people just come here because it's cheap. It's not really cheap. Some people think this is a third tier country. It's not. Plenty of lifestyle to be had here. Some people are afraid, wondering what the problems are. Well, there's problems everywhere. Especially if you're going to move to another country, you can run into some issues. But I like to have more young people in the villages, Portuguese people. They're just so sweet. And the expat community just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I'm not saying I don't have a lot of really lovely expat friends. But the best way to enjoy Portugal is with Portuguese people. I see what happened. So that makes total sense. Total sense. So I can just go around that way next time. That'll be fun. This is the GNR, the police that control the roads. Yeah. So I can get busy. Nice guy. He's one of the local big shot surfers, Joao. And yeah, these people, like I was trying to explain to my niece, the other one on the other side of the family, likes to surf. I was explaining that the surf culture here is really low-key. Not a lot of ego, not a lot of territorialism, no gangs. People are helpful and friendly. There's just so many places to surf here in this country that you don't have to be so territorial. Of course, if you're surfing the big waves at Nazare or whatever, you have to know what you're doing or they won't let you out there because you're going to die. But people are generally helpful if you're in a dangerous part, and they might advise you not to surf there. But, and these are like, some of them are hard to find, you know, surf areas. So you have to know how to get there. And then they don't really have safety people, you know, lifeguards and equipment. So people bring their own stuff, first aid gear and whatnot. But anyway, the point is, I was just explaining that it's very easy going here. People are friendly. And it's true. It's you know, you're surfing in Europe is younger than in the States. And I was explaining, you know, Nusa Dua in Bali, places like that. They became so overran by tourists and crowded and unfriendly and full of gangs, and, you know, it's just not nice. Prostitution and bars. If you're into that, that's fine. But you know, there was a time when it was just so beautiful and the locals were so cool and it was such a nice place to go. And now I don't think so. This place is unspoiled. You know, everyone surfs in Ireland now, which nobody did when I was a kid. I was like one of the only people in the village that could swim well. But it's nice here for that. So if you're young and you like surfing and you want a chill environment to learn or to have fun, I think it's good. It's really safe, I think, compared to some places. And it really isn't as expensive as Oahu or wherever the hell you're going to go in Hawaii. And Cali, you know, it has its issues. You know, it's just, I haven't noticed really heavy drug use either. But of course I'm not young, so I don't hang out with the kids all the time. I don't know. It's like not your Red Hot Chili Pepper type of thing. Those surfers that first started surfing the big waves in Northern California from Santa Cruz, they had quite a stoner, crazy lifestyle. I don't see that as much here. Although I was in Lisbon, I saw some people shooting up right on the riverside, just out in the open. It's kind of weird. There's a private airplane. Nice. Let's see if we can see this thing coming over here. What is it? What do you reckon? Ah. Wow. That looks vintage to me. Not sure. My friend Alex would know. You would know what that sucker is. Looked very vintage. It looked like a World War II or after, like a Korean War trainer. Not a Corsair. Is that a Bobcat? No, it's not. It's just a little plane. So check this out, man. I was informed that it's 11:30 and the weather is just divine. So in the morning it was chilly but really nice, and now it's like, oh God, it's perfect. There's a good grill restaurant just down here. I don't always eat in Nazare because it's tourist price. So it's at least 100% less expensive to eat before you go into Nazare. So there's a few places out here that are really good. And you eat before you get to the tourist spot. Save your pennies for the beer. So here's the restaurant coming up. Right here. That Sagres sign is where they barbecue, grill things. This place is good. Diamond. People start coming in there around 12:30. I've often wondered if I just kept going straight. So I gotta come here sometime and turn left and see if how it takes me to São Martinho de Port. Very nice. Yeah, so this part I can just speed up when I edit. But you might as well see back through this village, and then I'll cut the can. Not gonna do anything fancy with this one. Just gonna upload it. Because I got a lot of work to do on this series that I want to make about the various flavors of new rice. And then I'm just gonna give it a rest and just do like tourist videos, because I'm working on another project, so I won't have time. Every once in a while though, it is fun to see something that bugs me and then make some short video. I get a kick out of it. I entertain myself. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. It's a beautiful day in Nazare. Bouleamti. Out. Alright, I saw this sign. It said there was a monument. I don't know if that was the thing back there. It's nothing much. So there's a really nice house. Oh shit. There's a nice house here, but it says Bem-vindo. So this is a little hotel near Nazare. And I guess this, shit, I'm going a little bit scary. This thing, not much of a monument. There are some Roman ruins near Óbidos. So that's a monument. Yeah, not my thing. But yeah, I was wondering, do they have some Roman thing here? It's fascinating. The Roman thing. So now it's all uphill. Oh. Yeah, that's what I saved my battery for, folks. Make it up this, and then I can coast down. I wonder if I should go up the way I came. It's steep, but it seems like a shortcut. Or is it? This one. Heck. What to do? Aye. Decisions. Oh, I'm gonna go this way. So I'm probably halfway. I'm just hoping that I can get over and save at least 2 bars for the last hill to my place. It's hard going up these hills. If I had a road bike with the right gear ratios and whatever, I still wouldn't be able to do it. Maybe. Who knows? Silent running, silent pedaling. Yeah, it's funny that America can put B-52s in Australia and have some submarine bases down there and just kind of like take over the Philippines again. All this stuff. Say it's gonna defend Taiwan to the death. And then have the gall to say that China's the one that's being belligerent. The beautiful eagle or hawk above me. I don't see how people get that. 1,000 bases around the world, and yet China's a big existential threat. Well, yeah, cliche to the hegemon, to the empire. I don't think so. I think America can lock in its power forever and ever if it just stops treating the rest of the world like an enemy. There's only so much gangster shit you can take. We're not the enemy. Ooh, it's nice. Actually, the way this road winds around, it's really not that difficult to climb up here. It's a very easy grade. So, no reason to complain. I can hear, so I ain't afraid. Jardin Villa. Yeah, this is a good way to go by the church. And God, I really do want a coffee. I really do. Yeah, I wonder. I'm heading back. Oboiteru? Anata tachi. Kono michi mita to omoimasu yo. Well, I made it up. And yeah, further than I thought. I got 3 bars, and you know, they go down fast when you get to the end. So I'm glad I can coast for a while and save energy. Oh boy. So here we are. Yeah, there's faster ways and not so fast ways. Those are nice dogs. I'd really like to go as direct as possible. You don't have as much power on this bike when it gets down to the last bar, which is red. You really don't have much climbing power, so you're practically cycling without the motor. So I want to go as far without the battery as possible, so I have a few bars to go up the last hill. That's the thinking. It's not rocket science. I wonder if these lithium batteries were made in China. A wood shop. think it's going to work out. That was a fast lap time, as you can imagine. $50K downhill. Now, what's this? Rebellious. Or do I want to just keep going? Or do I want to... Oh dear, I'm acting stupid again. I had that beautiful hill. I just keep going down the hill. But I wanted to cut over and go in my direction. I'm not using the battery. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Yeah. Oh my God, don't tell me. This dead ends at some agricultural place. Hi, puppy. That poor guy. He's small. Thank goodness. It goes through. Agricultura. Oh no, what the hell's gonna happen to me here? Shit. I just have to do it. What a numbskull. I had that beautiful hill. It's going more or less in the right direction. Had to be clever and see if this was a shortcut going in the right direction. Now I'm on a dirt road. I have no idea where I'm going to come out, or even if it comes out. That's part of the adventure. And you know, you're risking your life because you're going to have to run out of battery. And when you get to the hill, you're walking. And it's a long hill, man. It's a long walk. You gotta hope we don't have any free dogs running around. Well, I think I'm okay. Now, if I can discern, oh God, there's that freaking church. Oh my God, now. Ooh. I want to cut over to that side. Hey. Oh man. Do I really have to go back? I probably can get across down there. But it's going off in that direction, which is where I want to go. I don't think I can go through this orchard, even though there's a drive. This is pretty fancy, man. Oh yeah, I know this place. Oh well, I could have just gone down the hill. Now I have to use my gears and my muscles. Shit. Now I'm going backwards. Hey, yeah. Damn. The other road's just over there, but there's a big orchard between me and where I want to go. Bad move. Monte Dodi. Monte Dodi. They have security cameras, big, huge stone wall. But it's a nice place. Monte Dodi. Is that Dodi? Was that the unfortunate son who was dating the Princess Di? Dodi? He's not dead. We can uncover the conspiracy. He's living here, and he had the audacity to put his name on it. Jesus, the audacity. Well, now I'm on the road, but I'm really running low on energy. Okay. Here you go. Sometimes I get tired. I really need a break. Have a sports drink. I'm burned. I got one bar to get up the last big steep hill. Think I'll make it. But man, today I didn't have much energy. I don't know why. Has to be COVID. Gotta be COVID. Muito longo COVID. Long. It can't be the wine I drank yesterday. It's gotta be COVID. Anyway, taking a break.